How Raven Brought Light to the Animals, adapted from Alaska Native traditional Raven stories. Out of the deepest, darkest, pitch black emptiness, before the makings of man and worlds, before stars-studded skies, before moon pulled on tides, before sun shone bright. Out of the silent mysteries of spirit world flew those the Inuit say came weak, lost, filled with fear until the Kato people tell their father, holder of wisdom, Kit Ka Asit Itika, gathered the struggling, courageous ones and taught them how to transform fear into creativity. To the distant edges of the new world they flew, and in the northernmost lands their stories grew. The Hinklit called them Katsate. To the Shinshin they were Ganada, the clever one, or Lagabula, the lazy one. Countless their adventures, from magic to mischief. These wise ones found all over the globe. Raven has many stories told. The Haida people say she was a maker of things, magician, healer, and transformer. They say it was her brother, though, who brought light to the animals. After learning the secrets of creation, Raven flew to a new destination. He was drawn to a place where he heard sad songs and lonely cries. This world was dark, dry, and cold. Raven knew light could heal. Light would bring warmth and fertility. So he vowed to make this world radiant. He flew and flew and flew until he saw a glow from the cracks and smoke hole of a hidden lodge. Raven watched and waited to see who this keeper of light could be. Finally, Gray Eagle glided from the lodge and disappeared into the darkness. Raven swooped toward the brightness. He looked into the lodge and saw Gray Eagle's daughter singing in the light. Her beauty gave Raven delight. The gift to sing any song had he, so he joined in her melody. Surprised, Silver Eagle looked up and invited Raven into the lodge. At this time, his feathers were snow white. He was a pleasure in Silver Eagle's sight. When her father returned and with food and saw his daughter's happy mood, he welcomed Raven into their home. Raven looked around the lodge. On the walls hung huge bundles. In these bundles, Gray Eagle hid sun, moon, stars, and water. Gray Eagle was selfish and kept all these jewels and earth and sky locked in his lodge. When he felt day should begin, he opened the sun bundle and let light in. And when Gray Eagle grew tired and wanted to sleep, he bundled the sun and released stars and moon. The three told stories and sang all day. Raven grew strong and happy with Silver Eagle, but he remembered his sacred vow. He had to take the light somehow. Finally, one night as stars and full moon sparkled in the ceiling, Raven sang an ancient song of sweet darkness. Like a spider, the melody spun a strong web of sleep over gray eagle and silver eagle. A sleep so deep no sound could wake. Quickly and quietly, Raven gathered stars and moon into their bundles and carried them out through the smoke hole. He soared up into the sky and opened the bundles. The dark sky glowed with jeweled star and moonlight. Quietly, so quietly, Raven returned to Eagle's lodge. He gathered up the other bundles and threw them on his back and glided out the smoke hole. Standing on a mountain, he opened the water bundle. The stream of water flowed down the mountain and grew into rivers and lakes over the land, flowing and flowing and flowing to the great seas. Raven rose from the mountaintop. He climbed higher and higher and higher and higher, then flung the sun bundle open. A roaring blast of heat and flames sent him tumbling toward earth. Meanwhile, Grizzly Bear came from his den, his eyes struck by light that had never been. Surprised, he growled, "Daylight break, daylight break, run and see, daylight break." Slowly, other animals awoke. Peacock began to strut. Magpies, owls, and bats flew from their hiding places. Tall ones and short ones, fierce and mild, crept from their caves and burrows. Snakes and mice, wolf and moose, all sang, "Daylight break, daylight break, run and see, daylight break." And from the water's depths, the deep sea animals, squid, octopus, jellyfish, and whale, swam to the surface to find the source of this brightness illuminating the sea. Even insects, butterflies, and spiders all came out and sang, "Daylight break." Raven landed in the coolness of a flowing stream. He saw his reflection in the water. The sun's heat and fire had burned his body and feathers coal black. But now the sun's light gently warmed his heart. Raven was surrounded by happy animals, large and small, sliding, crawling, walking, dancing in joy. They all sang out, "Daylight break, daylight break, run and see, daylight break." And so we learn the lesson the Zuni teach. Raven helps you overcome fear. Like Raven, with courage, you too can transform darkness into radiance. Just remember how Raven brought light to the animals.